My name is Barbara Moffat. I come from the island of Lewis in Scotland. The revival in Lewis began by two sisters who were in their 80s, and they were grieving over the fact that the church of their fathers was empty. And they were on their knees praying night and day, night and day. And they asked the deacons to get on their knees and pray at night. And if they did that, they would get on their knees from 10 o'clock at night until 2 or 3 in the morning. And that's what happened, and it took 2 or 3 months. My very first memories would be of the revival that was happening on the island. We would have meetings in our homes at night till 2 and 3 in the morning. When it was the prayer meeting, all work stopped. It was just something that happened when there was a prayer meeting. Nobody worked. We all knew as children that there was something supernatural happening, and we could see people's lives being changed, neighbours and friends, all the while not being converted, not being born again, despite the fact that I had seen so much of it in my own life. Pride is what keeps us from really accepting. And I know some who have gone to their graves in their 90s, who still did not accept and who went through more than one revival. And pride almost destroyed me too. I got to this age of 70. My life without Christ was a normal life that a normal, regular person would have, going to school and getting married, moving to Canada. Music was the thing that I loved the most, and I'm talking about secular music, and I was a music teacher. That was my job. And at the age of 32, that was my first indication of the Holy Spirit moving in my life. Could not get enough of reading the Bible and going to different churches and really looking. And then my husband had a heart attack. Calamity descended on our family. With everything that was going on in our lives, I was back into the regular world and doing all the things that I always did before. And for the next 30 years, even when my husband was having heart surgeries and bypasses and all kinds of tragedies happening in our lives, I did not turn to God. And then my husband passed away 3 years ago. I did not even turn to the Lord then. It affected me in just every aspect of my life. It's been very, very difficult. What he did was he took away one by one every single thing that meant anything to me in my life, until I had nothing left, absolutely nothing whatsoever left. I was just empty, completely empty. And I was like that for quite a few weeks. My sister, who came from Scotland after my husband passed away, asked me to find a church, and we went to Harvest because someone at my gym had told me about Harvest. After she left to go back to Scotland, I just felt the tugging of the Spirit to go back to the church. I knew that the Holy Spirit had started working in my life. And then one night I went to a party with the pastors, and that was when my pride came crashing down with a bang. And I remember feeling really rebellious at that meeting with Pastor Robbie. I thought he was going to stick his 2 fingers in his mouth and blow a whistle or something like that for me to stop. I was so distressed. But he called over one of the counselors, and she came and helped me, and it was all the Holy Spirit from beginning to end. I was brought up to know that God is a spirit, infinite and eternal and unchangeable in his being, wisdom, power, holiness, justice, goodness, and truth. We learned them in Sunday school and we learned them at regular school. He's the one who points out to you what sin is. That's the only way you know it. I didn't know what sin was, although I knew all of the 10 Commandments off by heart and all of that stuff. It was the Holy Spirit who showed me what sin was in a powerful way. It was after Pastor Molyneux had been preaching at Harvest, and I went to bed, as I often did, crying and on my knees, and my sinner's prayer was, please let me touch the hem of your garment and let me step with both feet into the beloved. And he did that for me. And I got that instant love for the people around me, the people who were God's people, and that was a definite assurance for me that I was saved. And that day was the most wonderful day of my life. Beg the Holy Spirit, just beg the Lord, beg the Holy Spirit to work on you. It is God who does the drawing. The Holy Spirit draws you along. Don't resist, just don't resist, let it go. He had mercy on me. I thank him daily that he did. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody who's sitting out there. Anybody. Even at my age, yes, and older.